Alright, robot, here's the situation. I'm going to replace the window regulator in here, which was made in China, with the regulator I've got right here, which is something that came from a Dodge Caravan. And the reason for that is that this one in here is so wimpy that literally when you shut the door or operate the window, this thing falls off the track. So in other words, it's half-assed. The project at the moment is take this door panel off. There's a screw here, there's a screw here, and there's a screw down there. The whole thing will pop off and lift up. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to run the window down a little bit to get it in the right position. Then I'm going to use my tool to extract I'm going to take this thing off the regulator, which we'll look at when I get there. And then I'm going to use a little tool to extract the regulator from the inside of the window. And then I'm going to do the whole thing in reverse in a minute. So in the meantime, you can watch me deal with this door. Alright, the window's now on the bottom of this thing. Now to work on the regulator. Here's the bolt. There's another one in here. There's another one in here. And another one right here. I'm going to have to take them off. They're Torx. Give me a minute. This is it, T30. See what I mean? Could have dropped that one down in the hole, but I didn't, so we're cool. Now there's Phillips screws on here. 1, 2, 3, and off it comes. Oop, better use the socket. 10 millimeter, I think. Give me a minute. Alright, now we've got that off. Now the trick on this is take the rear one off first. Oops, this comes off. This piece of door stuff here. Forgot about that. There we go. There we go. Out this comes. Now this one goes. There it is. There's the old one. Bye-bye, made in China. You're out of here. Oops, let's unhook this thing. This is the problem. This thing here flexes too much. You can see how flimsy this thing is. Alright, let's get the new one out. We've got to remove this little clip and transplant it into the new version. And the reason is that this is what holds the actual, there's a pin in the bottom of that window. I'm going to get a pair of pliers in a second, pull that out. And this is what holds it in, and this is what was failing on the Chinese version. You can see how bendy this thing is. Don't lose that. See that with some effort. I've got these little clips mounted in here properly. The pin of the window fits in the back of that. And these little clips hold it in if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, it comes out and it's bad. So let's see what happens. eBay part I got only had 2 of these screws, which is not terrible. But it didn't have the nuts. And the nuts are some kind of English machine thread. The ones that came off of it are Chinese, so I'm going to have to try to improv by putting the old ones back on that unit, getting it attached to the thing. You can imagine how I do this. I'll show you how I came out. Alright, I've got the Chinese screws in here. The big unknown is that those screws are about 1/2 inch longer than the original ones, and I'm not completely sure that the window's not going to bump into them on the back side there. We'll find that out in a minute. Now let's get these things back in. This is the tricky one. Now I got to fish that out. I finally got that one in there. I'd only dropped it down there twice. Had to fish it out of this stuff. Had to get it out of the bottom. Found my magnet. Fortunately, was able to get that out. Now all we have to do is install it. In order to do that, I have to have the clips in the right position. This one here is okay, and this one here is actually also okay. I have to lift this thing up and snap it in through those little clips I showed you earlier. There it is, lined up just right. I gotta get that lined up just right in order to get it stuck in that right little hole. There's the pin. There's the hole.